here's what we're going to do. We're going to see at least fits today. Good. So let's try this. Very unique camera setup. So you'll see my hands, you'll hear me, and hopefully the camera stays in place on the sun visor. So as you can see, it's pretty much stock looking. Nothing particularly gives away anything. Well, there's currently nothing to give away, but the goal is to make it, keep improving on it in terms of its performance, its handling, the just general user experience or the driving experience, and give it some modern capabilities. And I have managed to maintain everything stock console, radio, all of it. Now there are a few things that are different. Obviously the seats are different. I've changed this here, I'm not sure what it's called, some boot type, I don't know, but it was leather before. So the handbrake and that, the material currently is different for that, matching with the seat. No leather on those. So I had an idea, and this is where I wanted to share it with you. I still have not decided on the engine that's going to go in this. I know I'm going to use a 6-speed gearbox for sure from the M3 version of that. So that's pretty much given at this point. Not sure what the engine is yet. I think, again, trying to keep that agility of the car, the weight balance. So I'm not really sure. But there are some things I wanted to explore in the meantime. I know the kind of power output I'm aiming for. I know the kind of scenarios, the driving experience, what I'm hoping to achieve. So there are some things that are a given. I am going to use one of the valves from the newer BMW vehicles. I'll try to fit the image on screen somewhere. Normal day, normal driving, the exhaust gases flew one way through the back box, and when it's a spirited mode, then it goes through the other channel, and then you got the two outputs, and it just sounds more aggressive and it has more airflow, and it should give you quiet mode and fun mode together. And then I started looking around and thinking, how can I achieve this? Then I thought, well, I know there is a BMW E46 model that has a similar steering wheel to this. And the only difference that I could see so far from the pictures is that here it has some toggle switches. Now they do different things. So what I've gone ahead to do was to get me one of those steering wheels. And here it is. Oops, charging cable. Here is it. Exact same steering wheel. So that's it. That's the new steering wheel. Now, I'm not going to assume that the fitment and everything works exactly the same way. So I think today's video will include that. But for all intents and purposes, they look exactly the same to me. Let's check the... Yep. Yeah, it looks exactly the same. The diameter is the same. All of it looks the same. The airbag looks exactly the same. The difference, these has the cruise control functionalities on this side. It has your speaker and your channel surfing and your calls. So I think that's the direction of travel now. Going to attempt to use these buttons to put to a toggle switch that connects to the exhaust valves to open up on command to say when it's happy mode. I press that, and whether it's call, I don't know. I don't know. Well, whatever it might be. Well, one of these buttons. So that is where we are. Now, some interesting things. I've managed to open this already. So I'm going to do that quickly and just show you something that I've discovered. Okay. Right. So this one is a Torx T3, and I will just back this out to remove the airbag quickly. Okay. All right, let's take that out and set this down. All right, so this is the airbag piece and the horn together. Airbag, wires, and horn, one connector. Set that down. Okay, now this is where we are. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10 or 11 different functionalities or 10 buttons. And the output is, whoops, don't know if you could see. I've only got 4 wires. Now the math doesn't quite work. You have all of these functionalities and only 4 wires. And I think they might be using, just based on a little bit of research in electrical know-how, I think they're using a thing called matrix switching in here somewhere. I'm not going to explore that further, but I think that's what's being used to send different current signals or different ohms or voltage. I'm not sure, but I think it's something like that. And so whatever the signal looks like, then it triggers something, let's say in a microcontroller. So I've always, not always, I've ordered a microcontroller as well to use in this, because I know that the 12 volts and don't want 12 volts going up to a switch. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to see at least if it at least fits today, and then we could start to build on that for future videos. Is it all? Yep, it's out. Just gently out. No wires touching. Let's see what that looks like. Entirely different setup on the interior of this in terms of wiring for the airbag and for the horn. So here is the other one. Entirely different setup. On the outside they look similar, but that's as far as it goes. But that will not deter us. We will see if we could make something work just the same. We'll figure it out. Okay, so that was fairly easy actually. There was just this, it was just nicely tucked in there, and there are two connectors, and that just came right off just with a little bit more effort. So we'll set that out the way in the back seat for now. So we know this one is not going to work in terms of the connections, and this is from the E46 steering wheel, this is from the E36, so this is the one that we just took off the vehicle. Very different on the outside, but from here you cannot see a difference. Now we're going to rock the steering wheel side to side. It's still in the lock position. Off. Let's look at some of the things that are different and similar, and let's examine the rear side of this. The outer system on the E36 looks very different to that of the E46. you can see here where we took off three bolts for this component. It's not here on the E46. No idea how I'm going to solve that problem yet, or maybe I have to revisit the entire design of this. But let's explore it and see what is exactly possible. So first and foremost, will it fit on this spleen? Let's start with that one. Okay, so there's a little groove. Yep, fit it does. So at least that point we can say that's a check mark. Now you're going to need to do quite a fair bit of modifications, it would seem, to make these work or to be compatible. So the ring that I was attempting to remove, I think that carries the signal here, while this moves about in there as well. So I'm not sure if we should be moving this or not, or it's relevant. I don't know. If it damages, then I'll know. Okay, so I think what I will see about now is we need to examine these wires here, but it fits, we know that, so that's one problem solved. Right, so I will say I am sufficiently stuck. Need to go back to the drawing board and re-examine what we learned, what's possible, what's not possible, and how do we achieve that discrete mode without ruining the OEM look, or do I need to have something else other than this? So what have we learned? The E36 steering wheel and the E46 steering wheel are exactly the same as in terms of diameter and fitment and all of that. It's exactly the same. Well, actually, that doesn't look strictly true. Let's get precise about this. It looks as though the E46 is slightly smaller, actually. It does look a bit, yes, it is slightly smaller. Let's spin that over and see. Yes, it is slightly, ever so slightly smaller. But not to any significantly noticeable degree. So this is a bit bigger, this is smaller, but that's splitting here. So for our purposes, we'll say they are the same. That's the E36. The interior of them are very different. The airbag systems in them are very different. What we have not explored is if the airbag will interchange in terms of fitment. I'm going to say no plus, maybe no point. E36 from this, oops, let's get you in view. So this is the E36, and obviously it will fit. E46, does it fit in? It fits in, but it doesn't have the ability to push, and I think it's because these are different in depth. So let's see, and yes, they are different in depth. Let's bring you up to the camera. I don't know if you can see that, but these tabs are quite different. Let me get you in view to see them. Right, so you see those two tabs right there? This is the E36 and this is the E46. So no, not interchangeable for several reasons. then you might think, well, how about the horn plate? No, the horn capability also, from looking at it, I do not think will work. So for several reasons. Here might work, but I don't think it would because of the depth of this, and the general design of it would not make it work. I don't think so. I'd say no go. That would be my recommendation. So that's the E46. The E36 doesn't fit into this. Okay, so that's one thing we learned. The other thing is all of this here for the E36 does not go to the E46 steering wheel. However, it does go on. It's not an issue. It's quite nice, actually. It seems really nice. So it really would be a nice take on the E36. Thanks, guys. We'll leave it there for today. I'll keep you posted.